Ooh, ooh, here we go, 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 here we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on in the room. Come on in the room. Facing everything. And hopefully it don't look too blurry for you or too scratchy. But we here. Many, come on in and do shit. Be able to see me at every turn. Make sure we are able to be seen. Come on in. Many blessings, Destiny. Are you able to see me and hear me well? Let me know, let me know, let me know, let me know. We are here for episode 1. Blessings, Nadia. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Come on in the room. Yes, it is May 4th, 2025, and welcome to our podcast launch. If you have been hanging on at all, if you were here for the 100 Days of Prayer and Flow, then you already knew that this was coming. And today we are going to introduce what we're here for. We're going to dive into a little bit of love walk approach conversation, and we just here for it. It's time. It's time. It's time. I want to warn you and whoever is here and present and accounted for that you are going to walk into some conversations that you may not want to have to address, but we are here again for the love walk approach, which means that this is not, you know, it's not going to be based on one person's point of view or perspective. We are basing everything that we talk about here on this love walk approach, on how to coexist together. All right. We want to coexist together because we are one. Technically, we are one, so we should coexist together, right? We should be able to function and move accordingly. But for some reason, that's been lost, and we're just trying to get it on back. Yes. So, coexisting as one, that's our aim. All right. So, when you come here, this is for us and you to be able to take in what it is that you need to take in. Sometimes there's going to be some things that you just kind of like, I don't know if I want to apply this to my life, right? Some things may take longer than others. We've been coming on and doing the Love Walk Outreach global services or spiritual fellowships. And God replaced it with just a podcast type setup. Sometimes on the other side of me, you are going to see another guest. Sometimes you are going to just see a Love Walk approach picture because we're just going to be teaching and sharing with you from the heart of what God has given me. And I have to tell y'all, if you are not aware, anytime that you're called or you're assigned to do something in this life, pretty much every challenge that you have or every obstacle or every whatever, it's going to kind of it's going to lean towards growing you in the area or growing you for your assignment. So I'm going to share many of things with you here about my own life experiences to the point where I feel like it's necessary, and even how I had to go through it, what I had to learn to go through it. And it's going to help, if you allow it to help heal that heart of yours and help to renew that mind of yours. That's why we're here. All right. This love walk approach is it started with a book that I wrote and released last year in July called What If God Is All of Us? Considering the love walk approach for social justice and global healing. And we are diving into it. All right. Global healing is massive. We're talking about healing the whole globe. That takes some movement, right? Even with social justice, sometimes we feel like we're standing up for something that is right. We want to advocate for it because we've been hurt in that area, or we've seen somebody in our family be hurt in that area, and we want to talk up, we want to stand up for a cause. We want to fight for a cause. But anything that is not grounded in love will not help. It will not give a solution. It will just add and create more problems, So we have to begin to look at things from a love perspective if we want this world, this thing to work, if we want our relationships to work. And sometimes that comes with having to understand that this relationship can't work or it won't work because we're not on, or what the scriptures may call, equally yoked. That's not talking about necessarily your belief systems or whatever, but it is talking about those who may believe in this thing and those who do not, right? So I'm going to give you a little bit of background about me and about how, besides the book, how else this came about. And then we're going to dig into it just a little bit. Make sure that y'all are commenting. Oh, by the way, we are building this podcast, the following and everything, organically. What does that mean? It means that if you're getting value from here, share it with other people and let them know that you're getting value from here. Right? You may share this right now and say, "Ooh, I shared it," but there's nothing written there. People are just looking at another YouTube video with somebody that they don't know. They have no reason to click it. They have no reason to come in and subscribe. So when you are building something, or word of mouth is what they call it. It's kind of like when you go to a restaurant or when you go to a store and you enjoy the experience. What do? Right? You get something that is beneficial for you. You get a new pair of shoes. You get you some new jewelry. You get you some new candles, right? You get you some new something and you want to tell the world about it. By the way, yeah. No, I ain't going to expose her right now, but I will as soon as we establish that she's going to be making them for everybody. All right. Nevertheless, whatever it is that you love about your life and you really enjoy it or you really love it, you share it with other people. And what I've come to know, like as far as I'm concerned, there are many people that I've coached, that I've pastored, that I've covered, that kind of choose not to share me with other people because it's like, this is my thing. She's my thing. She is for me. And you don't want to share it. But here is a podcast, y'all. And so if I'm your coach, I'm going to be your coach still. If I'm your apostle, I'm going to be your apostle still. If I'm your prophet, I'm going to be your prophet still. But this is a podcast where we are trying to get this thing moving. So this is a movement. The Love Walk approach is a movement. And so we want to build it organically, and we want to invite people in who are ready to learn, to grow, to heal, and to expand so that love reaches every corner of this existence. All right. So that's what we're doing here. So background about me. For those of you who do not know me, I am the inspirational treasure, and that encompasses a lot of things. All right. So title wise, I'm called an apostle. I'm called a prophet. I'm called a life coach. I'm called an inspirational speaker, best-selling author. I got a couple of things underneath my hat: spoken word artist, inspired spoken word artist, a few good things underneath my hat, right? But all of it is summed up with inspiration. I just want the great I am to use me to say what needs to be said and to do what needs to be done in this earth. And y'all, that yes right there, it comes with a lot of counting the cost. And one of those biggest things is that I choose not to only consider one religious approach, but my background and my understanding comes from understanding and learning about Christ, Yahshua, aka Jesus the Christ. All right, that's where my foundation comes from. But I have an assignment to the globe, which means that I need to understand everybody's aspect as much as possible, right? Every perspective as much as possible. And we all still have to meet at this level, right? Your religious background and all of these other things, if they keep you away from the law of love, then there are some questions that need to be asked. It says that against love, there is no law. All right. So we are going to talk about love. And it may seem like a casual conversation, but it's pretty deep and it's pretty intense, especially when it makes you face some things like love is patient, love is kind, love rejoices when justice wins out. when it begins to put you in a position where you have to question for yourself, am I walking in love, or am I just being loyal, or am I just being or playing favorites, or am I? So you got to begin to search your heart with this one. All right. In order for this to reach the globe, we start within ourselves. We want to share that same love within our families. And then we want to exude that love when we walk outside the door. And it takes work. Love is the ultimate maturity, right? And what makes it the ultimate maturity? Because there are going to be some things that you are faced with in this life. And yeah, absolutely, when it comes to people, when it comes to others, right? Other unique expressions of the great I am, we're going to have to face some things when it comes to them. We're going to have to face that, hey, you just might not be the one that's right in this situation. What do you do when you're not right in the situation? Or what do you do when you are right in the situation, but you proving that you're right will cause more havoc or more chaos, right? So these conversations are going to cause us to address a lot of things. It's going to make you face some of the things that you're still holding in your heart, some of the unforgiveness you're still holding. Yep, it's going to make you face that. Why? Because we are one. You know, your heart can't be mad at your lungs for a long period of time, or it ain't gonna work. One of them gonna stop working, and we're gonna have a problem, right? Your toes got to be in sync in order to be able to walk right. One can't be flipped up when the other one is flipped down. You know, they all got to be on the ground in order for you to be able to walk. And so it takes a lot of looking within yourself, introspection, in order to show up, right? In order to show up and allow the love of the great I am to shine and to show forth in this world. All right. So we're going to consider the love walk approach as we're talking. Now, if you have not already purchased your copy of the book, why not? Go on and grab it. All right. Grab What If God Is All of Us, Considering the Love Walk Approach to Social Justice and Global Healing. So as we're walking through these next few weeks, again, I may have a guest on, but more than likely, I'm probably going to talk these few things out so that you get an understanding of what it is that we're aiming for. Love allows, or it causes you to be responsible or take accountability for yourself. Love causes you to overlook certain things. Why would you overlook certain things? Well, because it's really not something that's going to cause a make or a break. Right? I don't have to prove that I'm right every single time to get the point across, because what's coming in a person's life will prove it. That's going to take a lot of swallowing whole. You know what I mean? Because we could fight about it. We can argue about it. We can continue to debate about it. And it's going to entertain a lot of people. People are going to be entertained about the debates. They're going to be entertained about all the conversations, but what's being solved and resolved? When you're standing before people and you have a conversation that need to be had the conversation, but make sure that the ultimate goal is for justice to win. There's a reason why God is no respecter of persons. And this might be something that's really hard for many of us to grasp, because we've grown up with this conversation of, oh, I'm the favorite of God. 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 Everybody's looking at themselves as a favorite. So therefore, every decision that we make and every conversation that we have has a tone of selfishness to it. We don't consider the fact that other things and other people are involved in these conversations. We don't consider that, yeah, this might benefit you right now, but is it good for the greater whole? All right. And so no respecter of persons is on purpose. Because if I have a respect of persons, then that means that I'm going to have favor with a person that may be absolutely wrong in the situation. What they've done has caused a problem. And this does not matter whether or not it's your family, whether it's your friends, or whether it's a stranger up the street and around the corner. If the stranger up the street and around the corner has been offended by your family, then you don't necessarily, you don't feel like you got to expose your family members, but you definitely need to have a conversation with them and know that, hey, what you did was not acceptable. It was not okay. That person didn't deserve that. And so you don't just close your eyes because it's your family. You don't just close your eyes because it's your best friend. You have a conversation. You make sure they understand the position that you're in. Does it mean you stop loving them? No. Does it mean you stop being present for them? No. But you do not condone their treatment of someone else that is wrong. And when I say wrong, I'm talking about with the absence of love. In other words, you're doing it from a broken place, or you're doing it from a place of, I got to prove a point. Love doesn't care whether y'all family by blood. Love doesn't care whether or not you've been best friends for 55 years. Love does not care. Love rejoices when justice wins out. Yeah, I've had some conversations with people, especially when it comes to a lot of the stuff that happens in this world, right? And I live in the United States, but it does not mean that I agree with every single thing that the United States does, especially when it causes harm to another. If love does no ill to its neighbor, then if I'm standing in the position of love, or I'm following or pursuing the mind of Christ, unity, oneness, and wholeness, then that means my decision has to be based on something different. Are y'all really ready for this conversation? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to stand neutral? Listen, I've had some of the ladies tell me, and one in particular, and told me that when they get in their good relationship, they're not introducing. They're not introducing their person to me. Right. And of course I laugh it off, and we laughed it off. But the reality is that that's because they know that I'm not going to take sides. I want what's best for them. I'm going to want what's best for the other individual too. It doesn't mean that I'm not loyal and I don't love you. It means that it would not be love for me to make you feel like it's okay for you to throw somebody else under the bus. We ain't doing that. Right? So these conversations are going to be pretty intense, all right? And it's going to make you think, and it's going to give you some well dang moments. But if you're here for it, be here for it. See, we can't force anything down your throat. I can't make you accept the message. When other people come on here to start having conversations with us, we're going to be talking to people from other religious backgrounds, from other cultural backgrounds. Sexual orientation are going to be different. We're going to be talking to people from all different walks of life. If you're going to be offended by other people in this space, then you got a lot of growing that you must do. All right? Love is our ultimate goal. It is the ultimate maturity, because it makes you look in the face of some things that have you like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and lay my religion down real quick, and I'm going to handle this, and I'll be back. But the more you grow in this space called love, the less you want to have to do those things, because now your mind is on the scope of empathy at all times. You're always watching and paying attention to your actions, so that you're not intentionally offending somebody, right? And you're going to heal all of your soul wounds, so that you're not offending anybody. Hurt people. We've heard that before, but here's what we're going to say in here. Loving people love people. I loved people love people. And so, well, let's say loved people love people, because once we show all of this love and we give this understanding, now you're gonna hear me say a lot of things, right? Like, love allows. It allows. So that means if you choose to walk down the street and go into that pit, right, I gotta let you do that. But love also then turns around as it walks past this pit. If I hear your cry for help, then love will extend that hand, no matter how many times you walked into that same pit, because grace is indeed sufficient, right? And once you get to the point where you keep walking into that hole, eventually you may not want to come back out. You may not cry out. You may not reach out a hand. And that's still your choice. Love leaves room for you to stay in your bondage. Love leaves room. Listen, back in slavery times, or whenever they were dealing with slavery times, they had an option. They had an option of whether or not they were going to actually take the hand offered for their liberty, or whether they were going to stay. How many movies have we watched where there was a group of people who were like, revolutionaries, and they was like, no, we breaking out of this space. We will not give me liberty or give me death. They meant it. I'd rather leave here and die knowing that I tried to be free than to stay here in bondage and die not ever doing anything for myself. And so therefore, people, they've done these things and they had to make a decision and make a choice. And that choice that they had to make is, am I going to remain free? Am I going to be free? Or am I going to stay in this place because it's safe for me and I feel like my chances are better of staying alive? Love allows. So even in your everyday life, whatever I'm saying here to you, you get to choose whether you're going to adhere to it or not adhere to it. You get to decide whether or not you're going to apply these things to your life, or whether you're going to decide, no, I'm good. I'm going to stay mad. I'm going to stay angry. I'm going to stay pissed off at everybody in the world. I don't trust nobody. I don't want to trust nobody. People are shady. People are this and that and the other. And you know what's real interesting about that is most of the time we got a lot to say about other people and their shadiness, but we fail to begin to examine ourselves and our shadiness. Well, I would never do nothing like this, or I wouldn't do it like that, or I wouldn't handle it like this. The offense is the person that's offended is the one that gets to decide how big that thing is. You don't really get to decide whether it's big or not when you do it. You don't get to decide whether or not it's huge to them. They're the ones who had to take it in. So as we heal, we begin to see things through a different set of lenses. As we heal, we begin to look and say, you know what? I probably could have handled that a lot different. Right? As we heal, it's no longer about us. It's about the collective whole. And the work that we do on the inside when we recognize that the kingdom of God is within us, meaning that God is literally the great I am, is everywhere at the same time, all the time, not separate from anything. So let me help you make sense of this real quick. If the great I am is all things at the same time, all the time, it doesn't exclude me. It doesn't exclude you. It doesn't exclude them. It includes all. So God don't play favorites. Now, what we sow, we reap. So if you favor others as far as showing them grace, opening up doors for them, being in your position of love to be able to open the door when doors need to be open, be able to give favor to those who need it for whatever reason that God is, because what you put out there, you're going to get back. So if God says, hey, give them some favoritism in this situation, open this door for them. I know they don't have the qualifications for it, but they're quick learner. So I'm going to put them in this position. It's because you've sown something in order to get something. The principle. This ain't about favoritism. You know, as a leader, as a coach, as a leader, there are often times where I know for a fact that people that work with me or my family, my kids, my, other family members, they would prefer if I would just choose a side. If I would just say, well, nah, you can ask my children come in this room, if we have a situation, we're going to hear all sides. And then we're going to use wisdom, or what Deborah back in the Bible, the righteous judge, they called her. We're going to sort this thing out righteously with fairness. Righteousness is talking about fairness, uprightness. In other words, my heart is purified to the point where even when I know that you ain't absolutely on the up and up, I'm still going to treat you like you're somebody. And if there is something that has happened, this is the reason why Jesus said, I come to set the captives free. He was even talking about those who were literally captives in prison. But I come to preach good news even to them. There's no distinguishing between the two. And until we understand this, we're going to continue to treat each other like, it's about me. I got to do me. I got to make sure me and mine are good. I got to make sure that, okay, that sounds nice. Until you got to deal with that same thing on the other side. Until something happens and another family or another family member says that same thing to you. And you're like, oh no, but that's not the way it happened. And it needs to be this and it needs to be that. And see, remember when you disregarded what other people were going through because you were trying to protect you and yours? Told y'all going to have some things to think about. Does not, say for instance, something does happen in your family. You got a family member who did something Does that other person or that other family not deserve justice? Now, does it mean that you expose and uncover your people? Love covers a multitude of shortcomings, right? That means that not even, listen, think about it from this perspective. A multitude, it covers you. It covers your shortcomings, or what we call sin. It covers those things. Why? Because love just doesn't expose you, because love knows the root cause as to why you made the decision that you made. Love moves differently. Somebody type that in the chat for me. Love moves differently. Love moves differently. It sees through a different set of lenses. Yes, I know you want to stand up for your family, your kids, for your spouse, for your mama, for your daddy, them, your cousin, them, whoever. You want to stand up, and you want to stand up for them, whether they're right or wrong. And we say that, whether you're right or wrong, I got you. But do you really understand what that means? It doesn't mean that you make it seem like they didn't do what they did, because that's not love. Do y'all hear me? That is not love. For you to make them feel like what they did wasn't even relevant. You have to address what they've done also if you're going to address anything. And then you ask them to take responsibility or accountability for it. And you keep loving them after that. Right? So this is where we're going to be diving, because again, social justice and global healing does not just speak for you and your family, me and my family. It speaks for the entire globe. Here in the US, over in Africa, over in India, over in Timbuktu. Love is the same everywhere. And so we have to begin to be transformed by the renewing of our minds and show up differently in this earth and be the change that you want to see in the world. Who said that? Was it Gandhi? It was Gandhi, or it was Dalai Lama? It was one of them, I think. Be the change you want to see in the world. You want to see more compassion, then you got to first be more compassionate, right? You want to see more advocacy for people with mental health or with any other thing that they have going on, then you got to make sure that you're willing to do that and be that. Can I tell you, it shouldn't take for you to have a bout with mental health in order to have compassion for somebody with mental health. If you don't understand it, you just don't understand it. Say, I don't understand. Say, I don't get it. And then ask God to open you up so that you're able to fully understand it in a way that causes you to then have empathy for those that are coming into your life. Every experience that we have, we're trying to figure out, well, what's the reason for this? And why am I going through this? And more than likely, it's so that you can see within yourself, heal whatever needs to be healed, change whatever needs to be changed, and not even change it, but mature in it, grow in that way. So that when you are encountering another individual, you are not asking them to do something or be something that you're not willing to be. So I'm not going to go too deep into everything today, but I just wanted to give you this introduction. We launched, y'all. This is the Love Walk approach, and I am the inspirational treasure. Listen, there are going to be some ways that you can support. And I want to encourage you to go ahead and get this in your heart. Do I believe in this mission? Do I believe in this movement? Do I believe that we have to be the first partakers? And do I believe I can grow here? Do I believe that other people can grow here? Right? And if that be the case, consider becoming a partner with us. Consider becoming a sponsor with us. Listen, we're going to be. This is my thought. And this is how it came to me when I was writing some stuff down. We want to expose those and how they show love. So we're going to have people they're running their ads through here. We're going to be able to encourage them to show their gifts and talents and abilities. Of course, it has to be something that leads you in the way of love, whether it be something that makes your health better, whether it's something that helps you to be able to do your job better or whatever, right? We're going to have people who may want to be sponsors and show their ads. And then we are going to show the ones that we are giving love to. So it's going to be, hey, how do you show your love? That's what we're going to call that segment when we do advertisements. And they're going to tell us or be able to share with us, this is how I give my love to the earth. right? We all have strengths. How do you give your strength? How do you give your love to this world? So if you want to be a sponsor, you can definitely do that. Inquire with me. And we're going to also spotlight some people and say, hey, this is how we show love. So we want to expose how you show love through sponsorship, through ads, and we want to show how we show love by pouring into others with a percentage of what you all give here as partners. And so it's the Love Walk approach, y'all. Are we here for it? Again, we're building organically. We want to expose people to the conversation. Next week, when we come on here, we're going to start actually breaking down some of the pillars of the Love Walk approach. We're going to be talking about empathy. We're going to be talking about accountability. We're going to be talking about forgiveness. We're going to be talking about a few things. So you got to strap on your little seatbelt, all right, and get ready for the ride. If you want to stay connected, please go to bit.ly/Love Walk Chat. Go ahead and sign up for the mailing list. That way you get all of the updates. You get the conversations, weekly conversations. I'm going to put something in your inbox, something to get to think about once we have these conversations during the week, right? So you can not just hear it today, but come back in the middle of the week and open that email and say, you know what, thanks for the reminder. Because I almost, so we want you to stay connected. If you want to become a partner, you can do that at coffee.com/Love Walk Outreach Global. You become a partner through coffee.com/Love Walk Outreach Global. That's how you partner with us. That's how you say, hey, I believe in this mission and this movement, and we're about to keep it moving. Keep it moving. I'm here for the conversation. All right. Yes. Are we launched, y'all? Are we launched? I think we're launched. So get ready. Get ready to be totally selfless as we have these conversations. All right. So bit.ly/Love Walk Chat. And to become a partner or to go there, I think there is a teaching there, a 7-day devotional there called Love Abandoned, the greatest temptation. You can start digging into that stuff. We're talking about the greatest commandment is love. Therefore, the greatest temptation must be not to love. All right. And so if you want to grab that, you can grab that over there. Also, Amazon.com. Or you can do bit.ly. What if God is all of us, all capital letters at the end. Yes, we launched. I love y'all, ladies. Thank y'all for being present. It means a lot. So you can do that there. Oh, next week. Well, I guess I could say it next week, or I could say it now. For those of you who are ready, you already read the first book, and you're ready to tap into what's coming next. We will be releasing the new book called Love as the Master Healer. Yeah, that one too. And you can actually pre-order that one if you go to bit.ly/Love as the Master Healer. All right, lowercase letters. You can pre-order that book there. But go ahead and register for the mailing list, and you'll get all this information in an email coming straight to you with some encouragement to continue in your love walk. All right? I love y'all so much just because I can. Thank y'all for joining us for this day and listening to my little introduction. All right, to what we're going to be doing here. Again, we're building this organically. Go ahead and get some people in your mind that you want to join us for this conversation. And yeah, you can be on my page, and if I share, you can share it with them too. But I kind of prefer you to go ahead and think about what you're gaining here so that you can then offer it to someone else. All right? Many, 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 many blessings.